Joining us now, Congressman Robert Hurt, Republican 5th District of Virginia. Congressman Hurt, great to have you with us.
Thanks, John, so much for coming. I'm so glad that you're at CPAC, and I know it's a great opportunity for conservatives to get together and get ready for 2016.
Yeah, well, we got to do something, no question about it. Things seem to be getting worse. I want to get, if I can, Congressman, right to DHS funding, Obama's amnesty, Mitch McConnell. Basically, some people say he's sold out. What's going to happen in the House?
Well, you have to go back to the beginning and see. Remember where we started back last year. There were those of us who wanted to fight the fight then, and certainly if we were going to try to take advantage of the new dynamic in the Senate, we wanted to keep the entire budget together with DHS not separated out, and I certainly supported that strategy, thinking that that we do have a new dynamic in the Senate. We need to take advantage of it, and so what we've seen, unfortunately, is that really the dynamic in the Senate hasn't changed at all. I mean, the American people sent a new Senate majority and got rid of Harry Reid because they were tired of the obstruction and they were tired of the game plan and the politics. They want to see action. It turns out the Democrats still run the Senate, the best I can tell. And so what we have is a situation where because of this ridiculous cloture rule that they have over there, this filibuster rule, the Democrats are able to control the agenda, and despite the fact that the American people sent a message loud and clear in November that they didn't want the Democrats running the show. And so, I think that it is high time that the Senate do away with this filibuster rule. It's not a constitutional rule. It's anti-democratic, and it's literally disenfranchising the people of America. And I do hope that, I hope every time you talk to a U.S. Senator that you will try to nail them down on this, because I think you have to absolutely do away with that rule. With that said, we know what's happened, and that is that because the Democrats, Harry Reid apparently still control the Senate, they aren't going to do anything to deal with Obama's lawlessness, and are not going to stand up to it at all. And so it remains to be seen what they will send over to us in the House, but it sounds like they may end up sending a clean bill over, and a clean CR, or I guess it would be a funding mechanism for the rest of the year. And then it's contemplated, it sounds like, by the leadership, that what they would do is then go to conference and ask for a conference committee on the two bills, because of course ours is limited funding, although funds most of the entire department, except for that which is unlawful, and then you go to conference with the Senate's bill that would fund it for the rest of the fiscal year. Sit down in the conference and see what we can work.
Let's get back to the Senate situation. You got to ask yourself, people are asking themselves right now, if Harry Reid was the majority leader, what would be different than what's just gone down? Because basically Reid got everything he wanted.
Nothing. I mean, and that's frustration. And again, that's why I think that the Senate, that we need, as American people, need to put pressure on the Senate to do away with this rule. But the bottom line is what I expect will happen or what the leadership has proposed is that we go to conference on the two bills and try to work out the difference. The problem that I see with that is that I think it just kicks the can down the road into another cul-de-sac, and I don't see how that serves. That doesn't give the House any leverage, in my opinion. Again, in dealing with the Senate and this presidential lawlessness. So, and so that those are the issues that we're going to be continuing to debate this morning, and I expect that there'll be some votes on these things today.
Obama made a speech, I guess it was in December, and he did the lawless amnesty, not the Dreamers, the second one. One of the things he said right in the speech is that, look, they're not going to be eligible for government entitlements or benefits. Now we find out that every one of these illegals who came into the country illegally, that worked illegally, broke the law a number of times. Now they could be eligible for up to $38,000 of earned income tax credits without paying a dime in. Now the problem is, what do you say to the working people every day going check to check, trying to make ends meet? They're not getting a dime. They're losing jobs, and now we're going to get these illegals that are going to get entitlements for $35,000. How does that work?
It is the worst nightmare. It's everything that you can imagine that could be terrible about the consequences of the American immigration policy and this administration's immigration policy. It's every nightmare come true. And it's why, again, we need to have this debate, and we need to win this debate. I think the American people are with us, and the American people have known, despite what the president has said, they knew that Obamacare was a disaster. They didn't need polls, and they didn't need Harvard experts. They didn't need anybody to tell them what they already knew, and that was Obamacare was going to be a disaster. I think that they had the same concern about the national security of our country, about the economic consequences of illegal immigration, about the budget-busting consequences for state and local governments, in addition to the federal government budget-busting that is going to continue to take place as a consequence of these policies. And so, what can you say? All you can say is this is why we have to fight.
You have to fight. I mean, this is just outrageous. Look, I know that you've got a lot going on today. This is an absolute nightmare for many people. There's a lot of people, Congressman, that just couldn't fathom that we would get 5, 6, 7 million illegals getting paperwork. Now the other issue is you're not going to be able to stop them from registering to vote either. They've already broken the law 2 times. I mean, this thing is just a nightmare.
Well, and I think that, there are those who say, and I think that, when you look at the president's actions, you can't deny that this is a reasonable conclusion. That is that's exactly what this president and this administration wants. They're begging for that. They want folks that they can bring into their fold and quite frankly, use their political influence to sway their voting, and we see examples of that all the time with this administration in terms of what they do.
We're out of time. We want to thank Congressman Robert Hur for being with us. This is the Republican Extinction Act rolling right through your eyes. We got to take off. Thanks, sir.